Hello, hello, hello. This is Patrice Williams with Turning Point. I am so excited to be here on our last day of December, the last day of 2020 with a good friend. I was thinking about the lineup this week. Lisa and I were thinking of doing we were doing our broadcast production meeting, and we were thinking about the lineup to make this week as powerful as possible. And we thought of Rhonda. I'm going to bring her on this stage with no further ado. She is going to talk and walk us through connecting our body, mind, and spirit. Here she is. There you are.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patrice. I appreciate very much your inviting me to do this. It's very exciting.
Goodness. You know, I was telling you that when I think of December, you're one of the people that I think of because you always send a message, and it was either a message about Ayurveda or a message about Reiki, and really you're talking us through like resetting to that next year. So I'm at my best self in January because of you, and I'm all fired. You know, I guess that's how it works with health and wellness. We're fired up in January.
Yeah.
We're trying to course correct and get situated. And you're part of that for me.
Yeah, we all make resolutions, right, for the new year.
We all make resolutions. And so when I think of, so you are automatic. You are such a positive part of my life for so many years.
Yeah, I've appreciated having you in my life, Patrice. You're such a light, and I say that with all sincerity. You really are, and it's always a joy to hear your voice and see your face. And that's what we get to do. We don't get to hug, but we can at least.
That's right. That's right. Well, I tell you, I'm going to give your bio, and I know that I met you when you were the co-owner of Vallejo Yoga, one of my favorite places, and I know you aren't anymore, but that's how we first met each other.
Yeah, that's where we met.
So with that, I'm gonna tell folks a little bit about you. And by the way, for everyone, I want you to get comfortable. I know I'm in my dress today, but that's okay. The dress that moves. We want you to be comfortable. You're going to be doing movement in your chair. Rhonda, if they don't want to get behind their chair, they don't have to, right?
No, they don't have to. I will. I'll sort of speak to that. I'm just going to do a few simple practices that anybody could do, really. So we're not going to do any heavy-duty yoga poses or anything. We're going to do very simple things with the intention of bringing in that calm that you mentioned for our 2021 new year.
You're not going to have us sweating.
No, I don't think we'll be sweating.
All right. So let me tell everyone a little bit about you. Rhonda Slota, MA, is a registered yoga teacher and a certified Ayurvedic practitioner and yoga therapist. She is a retired English teacher and principal, having spent 30 years at Napa Valley Unified School District. She has practiced yoga for over 40 years and has overcome the effects of several serious illnesses and continues to manage her health through the practice of yoga, meditation, and Ayurvedic diet and lifestyle principles. She is a Reiki master, and an amazing Reiki master, I will say, from experience, in the Usui, did I say that right? And
Usui.
And Kaliki traditions. She currently sees individuals via Zoom through her business, The Journey to Wellness, which is www.thejourneytowellness.com, where she provides the tools, guidance, and support developing and maintaining a plan that supports their own path to healing, optimal health, and well being. She teaches yoga through Zoom, also through Vallejo Yoga, which is www.vallejoyoga.com, and offers classes and workshops in Ayurveda, self healing, yoga, meditation through Vallejo Yoga, and the journey to wellness. Under yoga, Rhonda's goal is to set a nurturing, positive environment, encouraging individuals to reach and develop their full potential and thrive. She is dedicated to encouraging yoga students to learn correct breathing techniques and postures, as well as develop a deep sense of practice as a pathway to emotional, psychological, and spiritual growth. Yoga is the union of body, mind, and spirit. The practice is about developing self awareness and spiritual growth and not becoming a pretzel. Ayurveda, under that practice, Rhonda helps individuals in a gentle, compassionate way. I agree, you do. To recognize their own unique constitution and current imbalances. Through the consistently practicing yoga and meditation and following the principles of Ayurveda and our daily lives, we can achieve greater personal awareness, reduce stress, maintain optimum weight, and enjoy the benefits of a healthy, balanced life. The third practice that Rhonda teaches is Reiki. Rhonda provides distance Reiki via Zoom during this time. Reiki is a safe, gentle, non evasive healing technique. Reiki can help release deep seated tension, restore harmony and balance to the body and mind. I will say that I've worked with you in all three of those practices, and you are powerful, ma'am.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Patrice.
Well, thank you for letting me do my dramatic reading.
Yeah, thank you for that dramatic reading. It was quite dramatic. Thank you.
I think I have a second act as a actress.
Yeah, yeah. The voiceover. You could do one of those voiceovers. Yeah, you'd be great.
That's right. That's right. So before we start, let me remind our community. If you're watching us live, you can interact with us live. We can see you on the chat. I have we have Lisa that is saying, welcome. Welcome. We're welcoming you onto the platform. We have my friend Josie that is saying good morning. My brother was tickled about having a second act as a voiceover actress. Hello, little brother. And is my heart. And we have, of course, we're just welcoming you with open arms. And okay, so Lisa says she has her yoga pants on. Okay. And I have somebody special for you to see. You know this lady? Doris Warren?
Doris, yes. I see her name. I was looking for her face.
Yeah, no, she's sending you a clap and kisses.
There she is. Yeah, there she is. That's great. Welcome, Doris. I'm so glad. You and I have been texting about how she was going to be able to see this or not. And I'm not the greatest with technology. I'm going to have to learn all this. This is brand new for me. So.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you. You lead us. What? Oh, Dorisa says, hello, ladies.
Yes.
It's just sending you a whole lot of love and energy.
Right.
Okay, you lead us. You tell us where you want us to go.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Patrice. I really appreciate, again, the opportunity to be here with you. And it's a great day, isn't it? Because it's December 31st, 2020. Yeah, it's the last day of this year. And this has been a challenging year on so many levels for all of us personally, in our country, in our world, globally. It's just been a challenging year. I don't have to go into all the ways it has been because you all have been living it too. So it's a year that we're kind of happy to say goodbye to, I think. And at the same time, we know that we're carrying forward some of the things that we're still working on, shall we say, as we move into the next year. But 2021 at least is bringing us some hope, we think, so we can focus on that. We have something to focus on here. And I think it's always a good practice at the end of any year, and I've been trying to do this for many years, is to find a little quiet time to sit down and kind of look at what all the things that happened that were difficult and all the things that are looking better and will be better for the coming year. And very often they're connected, you know, so the things that happen to you, I would just share, I had an illness early on in this year that I totally did not expect. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so I attribute all my practice and all my tools to helping me get back to where I am now. And so 2020 started that way with me, and then went into the pandemic, as you know. I lost a dear brother-in-law suddenly in March, and so our family was devastated, and it was pandemic. There's the stories of personal lives just go on, and I know that all of you have those stories. So we're glad to put those stories behind us, but sometimes you have to just sort of look at them first and recognize them for what they were, and then say, okay, I release you. Go on your way. So
Dr. Monique Hunt was here yesterday, and she taught us all about releasing.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good. We do have to release. We have to learn how to do it. It's wonderful. I'm sorry I missed that. Now I'll start watching you now that I know about it. So I wanted to talk, I don't want to take a lot of time because I want to get to doing a few practices that you can sort of take with you and have through the year. So we were talking about bringing calm into 2021, and that's what that's what yoga practice is about. That's what Ayurveda is about. It's what Reiki is about. Center, finding the place of your authentic self where you can move from that place. And so we all began as spirit. We actually came as spirits, and then we became bodies. So we get that confused a lot in our lives, and we focus on the body, and we focus on the material, and we forget that we're really spirits, and we're really trying to get back to that place of spirit. And so yoga as a system, we have a visual. I don't know if you want to put that up, but yoga as a system, I just wanted to briefly, I know some of you are all very familiar with yoga, but many of you may not be. And what we think about in the West is the Western view is physical. So think about it for yourself. What do you think of when you think of yoga? Do you see people with great bodies in leotards on mats doing all kinds of incredible moves that you sort of look at and say, oh, I can never do that, or I don't want to do that, or that's not me. But that's what the West has made of yoga. But yoga is a system, and it has 8 limbs. They're called limbs, and they begin with the foundations that one would find as the tenets of any philosophy of well-being or any religion for that matter. And they're called the yamas and the niyamas in in yoga, and I think of them as the sort of the 10 commandments of yoga, because they're almost exactly the same. They are nonviolence, being compassionate, not injuring anyone, and that's called ahimsa. That's our big umbrella yama. Truthfulness, being truthful, not stealing, controlling the senses, and not coveting or holding on. And the niyamas are about purity and cleanliness, finding contentment in life, and also practicing sometimes with austerity, or practicing something that takes some ardor to make it to get us through to the next level where we need to be. Self-study and devotion to the divine, to God, whatever that looks like for you. That's the foundation of yoga, yamas and niyamas. You start there. And so it's a system. And then the third limb is asana, which is posture, or the things that we think of, the postures that we think of often when we think of that yoga class. And it's really in meditation, in yoga as it was developed years and years, thousands of years ago, it's sitting quietly in your posture to be able to meditate. And the fourth limb is pranayama, which is breath control. And we'll do some of that today. Those practices are very helpful for finding that calm center. And as you move into the next limb of yoga, which is pratyahara, which is the withdrawal of the senses. And what that means is that as you become grounded in your foundation and your principles, as you get your body sort of under control and can move and can be comfortable in it, that is our vehicle that carries us around. So we do have to keep it in shape. And as we learned breath control, which is really the control of the life force, which is prana is life force, then we can move into this place where we become interiorized, and that's called pratyahara, where we sort of forget about all those senses. Everything drops away, and that moves us into dharana, which is concentration, where we could start to think about a particular a person, place, a thing that is sacred, something, a chant, something beautiful. It could be a hymn. It could be the mala beads. It could be anything that helps you concentrate one pointedly. And then from that, you go into actual meditation, which is the absorption of yourself into that, whatever you were focusing on. And then finally, we bloom into samadhi, samadhi being that union, that integration with all that is, Om Tat Sat, Om, that vibration. We chant that in our classes all the time. Om is the vibration, the hum of the universe that scientists have now found actually exists, because in the Western world, it doesn't actually exist until it's in science. But for us, we've known that, but yoga has known this for thousands of years. So it's the whole system. And I wanted to just sort of say that and put that visual there for those who aren't familiar with yoga. And the definition in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the definition of yoga in Sanskrit is yoga chitta vritti nirodha, which means yoga is calming the thought waves of the mind.
Oh, wow.
So if you think that's the definition, it's not about these other, it's the definition. So all these things work toward calming the mind. So that's why when we think of calm, that's the place to go. But we're not thinking of the physical necessarily, though the physical, it can be part of it, because it's a system, it's a whole system. And then the practice of Ayurveda sort of moves us, is also those thousands of years old, and they are interconnected. Ayurveda then is the healing system. It's kind of the healing sister of yoga, if you will. And that is a practice, or a system where we look holistically at individuals, and we are all based on the elements. we are a microcosm of the macrocosm. We're part of this universe. The elements of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. We're all a part of that. So those make up our constitution. So in Ayurveda, we look at each individual person's constitution and we see that they're all different. We're all different. So that the food that we eat, the way we do things, the way we respond to stress, and the things that we should do in response to stress are different for each of us depending on our constitution. So that's what I work with people with Ayurveda is, what is your constitution? What are the imbalances? And then what are some things that we can do to bring you back to balance? And some of those are very simple things.
I know from experience.
Yeah, I know. You know that, Patrice. They are very simple. They seem almost too simple sometimes.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll tell you a quick little story. It's not you. It's not Patrice. This is not her. But it was somebody that wanted to lose weight. And that was part of her goal. So we always set a goal. And so we talked about digestion, the digestive system, and of course in Ayurveda, digestion is hugely important because we now know about the gut-brain connection. So we know that those two things are connected; they cannot be torn apart. But we talked about chewing, how she ate fast and quickly, and was always busy. So in Ayurveda, we say that one of the little rules is you should chew your food at least 32 times. And so most people go, ooh, that sounds like a lot. But when you try it, sometimes that's not so many times and you end up chewing more. But what that does is from Ayurvedic's point of view, digestion begins in the mouth with the saliva and breaking up the food there. So it really begins there. So if you swallow big chunks of food, your GI tract then has to take that work on. So this particular person, I just have to say, she took all of that and said okay and went away. And then about a month or two later, she contacted me and said, all I did was the chewing and I lost 6 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Now, why is that? Because we slowed down. We slowed down and let the body do what it needs to do, let it digest, let it absorb. And we also end up sometimes eating less because we're not just shoveling it in. The body becomes satiated. It lets us know sooner when we're going slower and calmer. So just one thing, little Ayurveda tip.
Okay, how many of us watching are now going to chew our food 32? We need to chew 32. So we don't take anything else.
Yeah, just take that. So that alone will make some difference there. I know people are always worried about their health, their weight this time of year, especially. And especially since a lot of people are in, so sometimes that leads to additional eating. So I know how that's gone.
I love it.
Yes. Someone in the chat I see asked me to repeat the definition of yoga. So the definition is yoga is calming the thought waves of the mind. Pretty simple. Yeah, calming the thought waves of the mind. It can be translated a little different. Some people say calming the whirlpool of the minds or slowing the thought processes, but that's basically what it is, calming them.
And it makes so much sense. So it keeps hitting me because I've practiced yoga. I practiced yoga with my husband, which was a lot of fun. Both don't know what we're doing, so we're just like toppling everywhere. But you didn't mind, like you or Doris, y'all didn't judge us.
No,
a lot of fun. But that's exactly what it does.
Yeah, that's what it does. Yeah, and so it's said. We often say that. That people come to yoga because of the physical. They want physical exercise, but then they usually stay with it because of all the other benefits, the calming. There's even science now about the stress reduction, the support it gives to the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, the nervous system. and the mental health system. So it's really supportive.
Yeah.
So having said all of that,
Yeah. You see, this chat is just going. We have jokes.
oh, okay. Should we look at the chat, or do you want to do a little practice?
No, I'll just put up the chat while we're talking. And no, but move us through.
Okay. So what I thought I would do is just a few things. We talked about everybody being at their computers a lot, and probably today, as you're watching this, you're sitting at computers, most likely. So we often need to work with the calming while we're sitting. So I would invite you, wherever you are, just to, if you've got your legs crossed or in the chair or something, if you could take your feet and place them on the floor and sit on your sit bones. So try to not be slouching back into the chair, but sit upright. And then you could even take the flesh of your leg and sort of scoop it out to the side. So you're sort of sitting more even on those sit bones. And then lengthen through your spine and open your heart. Just let your heart be open. Let it be surrendered. Relax your hands in your lap and just let your eyes gently close. And we're just going to bring our awareness into the breathing. And really all that means is watching the breath. We're going to become a witness. So we're not really trying to change. We're not doing pranayama at this moment. We're just becoming aware. And that's what yoga and Ayurveda and Reiki as well invite us to do, which is to get to know who this me, this I, who is this? And to know who I am, I have to go deeply inside. I have to let my breath calm. So just watch your breathing without trying to change it. And then we're just going to practice a very simple, I thought about doing alternate nostril breathing, a very, very wonderful practice that balances, but I know some people are watching and some are listening. And if you've never done it before, it might be a little difficult just with the oral. So what I'm going to do is a very simple practice. So take a deep breath and just exhale completely. And then inhale to the count of 4. And then hold that inhalation for the count of 4. And then exhale to the count of 4. And then continue. Inhale for the count of 4. Hold for the count of 4. Exhale, count of 4. And continue at your pace for several more rounds. Now, if 4 is too much, maybe you have some breathing issues, you might go with 3 or even 2. Maybe you were used to doing pranayama and you can do a long, deep inhalation and a long hold and a long exhalation. Maybe you want to go with 5 or 6 or whatever works for you. So in yoga we say, and Ayurveda as well, that we need to give the mind something to do. So we give it the job of counting while we breathe, so it doesn't try to go someplace else. So keep it right with your counting, right with your breath. As you exhale each time, just allow your shoulders to relax, let the hands relax, let the feet relax. Finding the balanced place of being both upright and deeply relaxed at the same time. So complete 2 more rounds of that breath. And when you do complete those rounds, just let yourself relax into your natural breathing. And just notice any differences that you might feel. And then we're going to do a little movement out of that. So maintaining that internalized place. So again, with yoga, our intent with the breath work, with the chanting that we often do, is to bring our awareness and our consciousness inward. So we want to keep it there as much as we can through our practice. So we're just going to do a little seated practice for the shoulders, to open up the shoulders. And it's good for the respiratory system, for the heart center. So what we're going to do is, as we inhale, we're going to take the arms straight out in front of us, reaching the fingers toward the wall in front of you, widening your shoulder blades and drawing the abdominal muscles back a little toward your spine. So you're reaching through the hands. Then as we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows and just bring the hands to the tops of our shoulders and reach the elbows forward. And then as we next inhale, we're going to keep the hands on the shoulders and just reach the elbows out to the sides, opening up your heart. So the elbows are reaching toward the walls to the side of you. And then when we next exhale, we're going to draw the elbows down, either touching in front of you or close, wherever you are. If you have any shoulder injuries or any problem there, just be where you are. Maybe it's not all the way down. So we're going to do a few rounds of those. So as we inhale, we're going to reach the arms forward. As we exhale, bring the arms back, touching the shoulders, reaching the elbows forward as much as is right for you. Inhale and open the elbows to the side. Exhale and draw the elbows together. Widen the shoulder blades when you do that. So as you inhale, open, reach forward. Widen the shoulder blades, activate in the lower abdominal muscles to protect your low back from swaying. As you exhale, hands to the shoulders, reaching the elbows forward. Feeling that in the triceps as you stretch the triceps forward. And then inhale and open to the side. And exhale, elbows together. Inhale, the arms reach forward, widen the shoulder blades, active in your core. Exhaling the hands to your shoulders. Inhale the elbows apart. Heart is open. Exhale, elbows together, shoulder blades wide open. Inhale and open the hands forward. Exhale the hands to your shoulders. Inhale the arms open. Exhale the elbows together. And then just relax your hands down to your lap, wherever is comfortable. And if you'd like to do some little shoulder movements here, just inhale the shoulders up to your ears and then back and down. So a controlled shoulder movement, inhaling up and back and down. And just relaxing there, and notice what you feel in the shoulders. It's good to do when you're doing computers or anything, anytime that the shoulders are tight. Beautiful. So in the interest of time here, I'm gonna go ahead and have a stand. If you wish to stand, you don't have to. You can actually stay seated. But I wanted to share with you a practice. I'm going to move my chair out of the way and see if you can actually see me, so I might have to adjust this just slightly. Can't see my head there, I think. It's a little, you don't need to see my head. So there we go.
There you are.
I'm back here. Yeah. So I just want to do a little practice. We're thinking about calm. We're thinking about being connected with our bodies. So just have your feet about hip width apart. Again, roll the shoulders back and let them relax. Let your hands relax down beside your legs. Just let them be there. And if you're like me, you might have a tendency to sway your back. Some people do. So you want to keep this active core drawing back toward your spine so that you're not swaying the spine. And so actively drawing the tailbone down toward the floor. Good. Feel that you're grounding. So the feet, again, about hip width apart. So you can have your eyes open or closed, whatever works for you. We're going to bring our awareness into the feet. So I call this finding your feet. My long time ago teacher, Dindale Morgan, taught me this, which I really love, and he calls it finding your feet. So actively engaging right at, you know him, I know, Patrice. Mm-hmm. Actively engage right at the ball of the foot, actively engage in your heels, and even just rock maybe a little bit forward and back. Feel the energy that moves up from your feet into your legs, into the low abdomen, keeping the shoulders relaxed, the heart center open, and the crown of your head gently rising to the sky. So feel the ground, the earth beneath your feet, and draw its energy up into your body. And then we're going to find our hands. So just notice your hands. Just notice the air around the hands. Notice how your wrist feels. What does it feel like inside this empty palm? Connected with the hands, the feet. And then bring your awareness to your heart. Feel it opening in the heart as you breathe. As you inhale, it expands. As you exhale, just letting the shoulders relax. Finding your feet, your hands, your heart. And that pranic life force energy, the breath that lives in that heart center. And that's what we'll find next, the breath. So as you're in this position, just be aware of your breath. Take a round or two of breathing, and then we'll come back to that breathing that we did in the beginning. We'll inhale to the count of 4. We'll hold to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 4. And we'll just do that 2 times just to get a feel for it. As you inhale, draw the energy from the earth all the way up through your body. Feel all the elements, the water, the fire at the core, the air at the heart, the ether that moves up into and out the crown of your head. And when you complete that next round of breath, just relax again. So this is something you can do in a grocery line or someplace where you're the post office, where you're feeling that a little antsy because you're in line and you're waiting and you're starting to get nervous about whatever. Just find your feet, your hands, your heart, your breath, and breathe. And you'll find yourself coming back into calm. And people don't know what you're doing. You could even be holding something and do that. Mm-hmm. So that's a nice little practice for you.
I love that.
So then bring the feet together, and I'm just going to bring the arms up overhead, palms together, and I'm just going to do one little yoga posture called crescent moon. So we're just going to reach over toward the right, so just bend to the right. Now, we're trying not to bend forward. It kind of looks like I'm bending forward on the computer, but I'm trying not to. We're bending right straight down to the side. As we inhale, come to center, and then exhale to the other side. Now we're keeping our core very active, and we're just move between this for a couple of breaths. We're going to inhale to center, exhale to side. If you have any shoulder issues here or problems with shoulders, one thing that you can do is just keep one arm down and bend with one arm raised at a time. So it could lift the left arm up and keep the right hand on your side and just right straight over, opening your heart center. Imagine rolling your heart center up toward the sky, staying grounded in the feet. Inhaling to center, and then the same on the other side. Beautiful. Staying grounded. So calm comes out of being grounded to the earth, but also recognizing and being in balance with all the other elements. So we're going to do something in yoga we call half vinyasa. So it's a little movement. Saying for those who want to just do a little bit more movement, if you need more stimulation. If you have back issues, you may want to have a block, or you may want to just use your chair or chair arm. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to take the hands to the heart center, and then we're going to sweep the arms up. So really lift up through the body as much as you can, and then we're going to exhale and come forward, bringing the hands to the earth. I think you can see me here. And if your hands don't touch the floor, just have them come to your shins, or again, if you need a chair, then just work with the chair, the back of the chair arm. And then we're going to hold for a breath or two here. And then as we inhale, we're going to come to a straight, flat spine and bring the hands up on the shins or up at the thighs, wherever's best for you. And I'll show this. So we want to straight back as much as we can. Beautiful. And then we're going to exhale and fold again, widening the sit bones up toward the sky, using the core, the feet, wherever you are. Doesn't matter where you are here. If you can only go down a little ways, just go where you are. And then as we inhale, we're going to sweep the arms out and come all the way up, palms together, and exhale to our heart center. So having done that once, I'll have us do that 2 more times, a little bit more quickly, and you can see how it energizes. Again, take your precautions. If you need something on the floor to put your hands on, or use a chair back, a book, whatever you have, be mindful. As we inhale, reach the arms up. As we exhale, sweep forward and down toward the earth, Uttanasana, which means forward fold, widening the sit bones, anchored in the earth through the feet. Inhale to a straight, flat spine. Using this core energy, exhale down again toward the earth, letting your head drop wherever is comfortable. Inhale, sweep the arms up, using your feet, legs, and core very strongly. And exhale the hands to your heart center. And just notice what you feel. So this is something you could do if you've got a lot of work to do at a computer. You could do this. Just get up and do a few of these. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, pressing down through the hands as though you were pressing through water, widening the sit bones, lengthening the spine, coming halfway up. The hands are on the shins or quads, wherever they need to be. Exhale again, all the way to the earth. Use feet, legs, and core, and sweep your arms up, palms together. Exhale to your heart center. And let your hands just rest at your sides, and coming back to Tadasana, which is mountain pose, which is where we begin. Back to being connected to the feet, the hands, the heart, the breath. Beautiful. And then from there, we're just going to come back to seated. I think that we're getting close to the end of our time. So just coming back to your chair, just a few things that you could do to support being calm or to give your body some support when you're sitting at a computer for a long time. So coming back to seated position, just back to where you were, feet on the floor, hands in your lap. They could be, tops of your hands could be on the backs of your hands can be rested on your lap, just to allow yourself to feel open and receptive. Let your eyes gently close. Again, notice your spine, lengthen through the spine, drawing the abdominal and muscles slightly back so that you're connected front and back. Imagine the front body connected to the back and breathing through the front and the back. Imagine this breath lengthening with the inhalation and releasing, surrendering, relaxing with the exhalation. Just follow your breath. And we're going to do one more little pranayama, which is a breath exercise that I really love. I know Patrice does too, I think. Mm-hmm. So this is a Yogoda exercise from Yogananda. So we take a deep breath out, and then we're just going to inhale fully. We're going to hold for a count of 6. And then we're going to double exhale out the mouth. So it looks like that. So we inhale, hold for the count of 6, and then double exhale out the mouth. So we'll do 2 more of those. You can do them at your pace. As you inhale, really lengthen, feel this lengthening, feel the core strong. And when you exhale, really surrender, let go. All the negativity, all the things that have happened that you stored up inside, let them go. Inhaling in light and hope for the future. And exhale everything that is not supportive of you now. And then just relax in your seated position. Let the shoulders relax. Your heart center be open. Palms open. Feet connected to the earth. Watch your breathing. Again, imagine that you're inhaling light and love and compassion. Bring it up into your heart center, letting it open and fill with all that love and compassion. With every exhalation, again, releasing, letting go. Letting go of 2020. Inhaling hope for 2021. Whatever that might look like for you. Might be that you've had some difficulty yourself during this year. Acknowledge, recognize it, and surrender, let it go. The global turmoil that our year has seen has affected everyone in different ways. Acknowledge that, forgive it, and let it go. And just continue to feel this expansion, filling with light and surrendering, letting go. Let your heart center be open to receive, to be compassionate, to be forgiving, to be joyful as one can be. Now bring awareness back into your breathing. Take a long, deep, nourishing, light-filled inhalation from the feet all the way up through the crown of your head. And a long, deep, surrendering, cleansing, releasing exhalation all the way back down the spine to the feet, giving it to the earth, who will hold it for us. And then with your next inhalation, just bring your hands to your heart center, this universal symbol of prayer, of what is sacred. It's called Anjali Mudra in Sanskrit. It's holding all the love and compassion of the entire world, the universe, in our hands and offering it out to all those who are in need. And we'll conclude with a Sanskrit word that means, I honor and respect the divinity within myself. I honor and respect the divinity within you. I honor that place within you where the entire universe resides. I honor that place of light, of love, of truth, of peace. I honor that place where when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there is only one of us. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay.
Oof. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, take your time, Patrice.
You know, you're so sweet. You always say that. You say, take your time at your own will.
Yeah.
Hey, so for those that have, this is the first time maybe that you've ever experienced yoga. What do you think?
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, Josie.
Yes, yes, yes. I love how gentle it is on the body.
Mhm.
And I love that it really brings this it's this this act of a self-nurturing where you're aware, you're taking this time for yourself. You can do it where you are. I mean, what, how long did that take us? Maybe would you say 30 minutes?
Yeah, it might have taken, it might not have even taken that long because I talked a lot in the beginning.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so while people are shifting, I
Yeah.
want you to tell us how we can work with you.
Oh, yes, that would be lovely. Well, thank you for my first podcast. I've never done this, so maybe we could do more of these. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know, Vallejo Yoga is a wonderful studio that is now, unfortunately, we can't be in there, but we're doing a lot of classes by Zoom. So if you want to go to vallejoyoga.com and look and see all the classes. I personally am teaching a Hatha yoga class, a physical, but we always, every class incorporates the spirit and the mind with it in terms of our chanting, in terms of our breathing. But I teach that class at 10:15 on Saturdays. And then periodically I do a relaxation meditation class that actually is going to happen this Sunday at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 5:45. So it's a lot like this, only longer, and you get to lie down. And so that's happening this Sunday. I'm also going to do an Ayurveda, and kind of a basics and introduction to Ayurveda, which will include a lot of yoga and a lot of breath work, and we'll talk a little bit more about in a lot more depth about what those principles are. So I'm going to do that January the 10th through the 31st. It's also a Sunday. It's from 4 to 5:15 for 4 Sundays. And you can also sign up for that at vallejoyoga.com. But there's a lot of great classes there. So, just kind of look and see what works for you. And then I also do individual consultations through my Journey to Wellness hat. And so you could always contact me there through the website or through my email, which is on the website. You could get me there. So that way we could set up private consultations if you want to do that.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And so people that have come in late, once we close, you will be able to view this again. I want you to tag your friends that would love this experience. I want you to share. And we are going to, and also this podcast, this will be made into a podcast as well. So people will be able to find this podcast on Google Play and many other, Apple, and many other podcast streams in the next week and a half. And so we can re-experience this over and over and over. And by the way, so I know you mentioned your Reiki, but but that is an amazing practice as well. You really helped me with the grounding work to function in my life better.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah. There are so many of these practices, so many holistic practices. I mean, acupuncture is wonderful, and many other kinds of things that do work with the whole system. And yes, I'm glad that I love Reiki too, and it really does support. It supports all healing modalities, as does yoga and Ayurveda as well.
Wonderful. Well, we are right past the top of the hour. I don't know where this time went, but boy, did it go. And I just want to thank you again, and thank you for helping us close out the year. Let me try one thing, because my screen won't let me share screen with you. Let me try something. Hold on.
Okay. There you are.
Well, there I am, but I can't find you now.
Oh.
Well, so you know what, but that's okay. So I'll say goodbye to our audience. So I'm going to put you in our virtual green room. Don't you go away. I just want to say, properly say goodbye to the audience. I'm so glad to see Sheila Tyson. I know Sheila Tyson is coming up in the next week or two. Yeah, she's going to be teaching us about life insurance, and she's going to walk us through what should we be looking at for our life insurance policies. That's going to be very confusing, and I will tell you that Sheila Tyson knows her stuff, and she is so funny. So she brings this information, and she does it with a laugh, and a smile. And also, I will tell you a earlier comment about Dr. Monique and different podcasts. You did not miss them. They're all on replay. So you can either come to my page, K. Patrice Williams, or if you do a search for I am K. Patrice, you will find us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. You can find these replays and re-experience it on and on. The show is 3 days a week. My team is trying to get me to 5 days a week, and I just won't do it. I don't know if anyone wants to look at me for 5 days, but 3 days a week, that is where we are. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, unless I can squeeze in a day off somewhere. But we're going to be continuing on in the new year. This is the last day of episode of season 1. So season 2 starts next week. Okay?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. We're going to try our best to give you a snapshot of the month in advance in sort of a TV guide. So we're going to work to do that so that you know in advance and can plan it and schedule these days with us. So I hope you all are loving this podcast as much as I'm enjoying doing it. But I just want us to close strong in 2020. We will see you in 2021. My name is K. Patrice Williams, and this is Turning Point. Goodbye.